Emily Viola.
Hi, my name is Adam Cucoro.
Hi, my name is Giuseppina Scalfani.
Hi, my name is Joseph Picciolo.
Hi, my name is Mia Scrency.
My name is Margaret McClario. Hi, my name is Angelica Di Mercurio.
And I'm Italian American.
And I'm Italian American.
I'm Sicilian, American, and Italian.
I'm Italian American.
I'm 100% Italian.
And I'm an Italian American. And I'm Italian American.
Ciao, mi chiamo Dylan Bassett e io sono il presidente di organizzazione degli studenti italiani americani at MCPHS in Boston. Hi, my name is Dylan Bassett and I'm the president of the Italian American Student Organization at MCPHS in Boston. For those who don't know me, I'm actually born in South Korea, but I was adopted into a Sicilian American family. My grandmother's family descends from Ragusa, Sicily, which is on the southern side of Sicily. The Italian culture is just something I grew up with every day. It was something I was constantly surrounded with growing up. To preserve and keep this rich history and to teach others about the culture is what my main goal and focus is. To preserve this culture and to record and learn about others' histories and their stories is just something that's so meaningful to me and I think a lot of other people. I got the inspiration for this video to create this video in September 2013, which was my second year of pharmacy school. 2013 was regarded as the Anno della Cultura Italiana in America, the year of the Italian culture, and I decided to do the filmings that you'll see coming up in October, which is National Italian Heritage Month. I chose these students very carefully. Many of them are my closest friends and hopefully future colleagues. No matter how much you know or you don't know about your family or your immigration or your ancestors, it doesn't matter. As long as you recognize and you take pride in your heritage, that's what I'm aiming for.
La trombetta zinga zingu, violina plinga plingu, mandolin tu 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 tu, u saxofona, u friscalette tippity tippity ta.
So my mom and my dad are both 100% Sicilian. My dad was actually born in Sicily and he moved here when he was 15 with his brother and my grandfather. And then later on, my grandmother and my aunt came over after they had made enough money to be able to send them over. My mom wasn't born in Sicily, but both my grandparents on my mom's side were born in Sicily. And so that makes me 100% Sicilian. So back in Sicily, my dad didn't really have a very easy life. He had to stop going to school when he was really young to help my grandfather support the family. He used to deliver bread to the neighborhood from one of the women that would make the bread, and he did that, and I think that's really what made him the selfless person he is today. So finally when they came here, my dad started working to raise money to be able to send my grandfather and my aunt over. So my dad came to America and he worked really, really hard. As a teenager, he didn't continue to go to school. He did whatever he had to do to make money to support the rest of his family. And when he was older, he became a fisherman. And he did that for a while. And then he started working part-time at a restaurant in Gloucester, Massachusetts. So eventually he took that restaurant over, and now that is my family's restaurant. So I think it's really impressive that he was able to come from nothing and now he's a successful restaurant owner. So he's really come a long way, and he doesn't take anything for granted because of what he's been through. So he's definitely one of the hardest workers I know. And he's very family oriented and driven, and I think those are characteristics of being an Italian person. You just love your family and do anything for them, and that is definitely what my dad did.
Hi, I'm Emily Viola, I'm 19, and I am a doctor of pharmacy at Metropolitan Pharmacy. I'm from Orlando, Florida originally, and I'm Italian American. My dad's side is mostly Italian. My grandmother, my nonna, she came from Abruzzi, which is a small town a little east of Rome. And then my nonno, he came from Naples area. My nonna is from Abruzzi, and she was born there, and she lived there for about 8 years until her and her family moved to New Jersey. And my grandfather's side, his great-grandfather came over from Italy, went to Ellis Island, and kind of started his life in New York. And they kind of lived in the Bronx, where a lot of Italians kind of migrated to. And not really sure like what he did, but that's kind of where my grandfather grew up. They all grew up on that city block. It's cool to be a part of Italian American family.
Hi, my name is Mia Scrency. I'm 19 years old and I live in Billerica, Massachusetts. I'm studying at MCPHS to be a radiation therapist, and I'm 100% Italian American. My family is from many regions of Italy, including Sicily and Naples, and my grandpa lived in the North End for most of his life. Being Italian to me would be carrying down traditions, Italian food, carrying that down to your family, supporting your family, and always being really loving to not just your family but everyone. Also working really hard at everything you do. And
Hi, my name is Adam Caparo. I'm 20 years old. I live in Waterbury, Connecticut, and I am a doctor of pharmacy major. My grandparents came from Italy. They came here in the 40s. They traveled from many different little small towns, two of which I'm very closely involved with, are Ponte Landolfo and Toro in Campobasso. They came here by boat and they were seeking better work opportunities during the war, and we settled in part of Connecticut where the industry for brass was very, very huge. Most of the people from their towns came to this part of the state to work in the brass industry, in the factories.
Hi, my name is Giuseppina Scalfani. I am 19 years old and I live in Revere, Massachusetts. I'm Sicilian, American, and Italian, and I am in the Doctor of Pharmacy program. So my mom is from Naples. I don't exactly remember the small town, but her name is Leonilda Scalfani. And then my dad is from a small town in Sicily called Sciacca, and his name is Vincenzo Scalfani. So for my mom, I guess like my grandmother's sister was already in Boston, so I guess they kind of convinced them to come over here. And the same story with my dad, but it was just with his aunt.
Hi, my name is Joseph Capillo. I'm 18 years old. I'm a doctor of pharmacy. I'm from Nutley, New Jersey. My parents' name are Rosa and Girolamo Caputo, and they come from Calabria in Italy. That's a region of Italy that's very southern Italy. And my grandparents are from the same area. Italians are very romantic people. My mom, she was actually born in America, and she moved to Italy when she was a teenager, and she went to school, or high school, in Italy, and she met my dad there, and they went out for a very long time, and when it was time for my mom and my grandparents they came back to America, my dad actually followed them about a year later, and they got married in America.
My name is Margaret McClario. I'm 19 years old and I'm from Madison, Connecticut, and I'm a pre-med PA student, and I'm an Italian American. My great-grandfather came over from Naples in around 1922, and he came over with his wife and his 7 children. The youngest is my grandfather, and he started a soda company, which is actually still around today if you're ever in the New Haven area. It's called Box and Park. And one of my favorite things to do with my family is probably cooking and eating. There's just, whenever we go to my grandmother's house for Sunday dinner, there's just so much love, and like, we'll sit around and my grandparents will talk and they'll tell us stories, and we'll sit there and listen, and of course we'll help cook with them. And we make things like lasagna, manigot, meatballs, cannolis, just all different kinds of things. It's really fun, and I don't know, just that closeness is really special.
So a tradition that my family has is on Christmas Eve we have the MCPHS, which means 7 fish, and at midnight they serve a bunch of different fishes, and octopus is one of them, and I've never tried it, but maybe I will one day, but that's something that me and my family do every year.
Some traditions that we have in our family, we love to eat a ton, cook together. That's probably a huge thing. My uncle is a world-class chef. He's from Sardinia, and we just love to cook. It's kind of like a big tradition. We do strufoli for Christmas and Easter. We do cannolis. We've made pasta 1,000 times.
So traditions for Italians, I would say, for my family, we always eat some Italian food for any holiday. It would be like raviolis, lasagna, manigattis, like anything with gravy. One tradition that we do every Christmas is we make Italian cookies called strudeli, and they're little pieces of dough that are fried with honey and sprinkles.
There are a lot of traditions in my family. We celebrate a lot of birthdays and saint festivals and holidays. We get together on Christmas and Easter, Pasqua, and Natale. We also tend to cook together. That's a tradition. We make the typical dishes, jumbo, gavadels.
I guess with one thing, since Christmas is coming up, the day before we always eat fish, and fish only, so you never eat meat. And then obviously the day of Christmas you can eat whatever you want.
Traditions of Italian Americans, we often go to church almost every Sunday, and of course we have the best sorts of holidays, Christmas being my favorite. We eat the 7 fishes on Christmas Day, and we have lots of fun with classical Christmas music, even the Italian ones. My grandparents make great food and a lot of desserts.
One tradition that's really special to my family is on Christmas Eve we always have 7-fish dinner. Being from Naples in southern Italy, fish is like a really big part of the diet. So on Christmas Eve we'll have squingio, we'll have stuffed clams, we'll have salmon, lobster, all different types of seafood.
Characteristics of the Italian culture, everybody's very talkative, loud, very warm, inviting. I know whenever you're around an Italian person, an Italian family, people in general, they're all very warm and welcoming, which is awesome. Very accepting of people, no matter who you are. Nice people, generous people, passionate people about anything they do, and definitely a loving culture.
So characteristics of Italians would be very family-oriented. Family is a big part of it. They support their family really well. They're usually very loud and talk with their hands, but they're so loving and also very hardworking.
A lot of the characteristics of the Italian culture I find are getting together for social gatherings, enjoying each other's company, love, food, music, and generally just being one.
I guess what's big on Italians is the basic food groups, which is pasta and bread and cheese. So if you don't like any of those, then you're not Italian. Also, what's big in Italy, especially with male names, the biggest 3 names is Giuseppe, which is Joseph, Giovanni, which is John, and then Vincenzo, which is Vinny. So if you're calling out, like say for my cousin, his name is Giuseppe, if you're calling just him, you'll have 10 other heads looking at you. Then what's big is basically talking with your hands, so I do that a lot, and also talk very loud.
Italian people are much different from American people in the fact that they're very friendly, and we all share a very special bond with each other. I can meet a stranger out in the streets, and if they're Italian or Italian American, we can share a special bond and we can talk about plenty of things just right off the bat, and we can become friends like that. And it's a very great thing that we're so friendly, and like we all have been raised in similar ways, even though we all come from different regions of Italy. So it's a really nice bond to have be like in the Italian community.
Some characteristics of Italians would be loud, talking with their hands, sometimes spit when we talk, that's okay. I don't know, they're very determined. Like my great-grandfather, when he came over here, he started his own business, which was a really big deal. And he worked every day. He taught my grandfather and my father the same characteristics. So.
To me, being Italian American means a lot of things. On a more serious level, it means that you're always there for your family, you stay true to your family, no matter what they need, you're there for them. And then kind of on a not as serious note, you talk with your hands, you're really loud, you eat a lot of pasta, you have big family gatherings.
Being Italian American means you can pretty much kind of, I don't know, whenever you meet somebody else that's Italian, it's really cool because you feel like you're automatically like connected in a way, like related. And for anybody who is Italian, we kind of grow up on the same morals, the same values, the same religion. So you it's kind of like known like the way of life. So I love just that aspect of it. It's nice having someone that you can relate to and talk to, and they grew up pretty much the same like as you did. So I love that. That's what it means to be Italian American for me.
Okay, so being Italian to me would be like carrying down traditions, Italian traditions and Italian history of your family, and supporting each other, supporting your family, and working really hard and loving everyone.
To me, being Italian American means being part of a larger network. It's almost like a large family where everyone has a lot of similar qualities, characteristics, traditions, passions, and pretty much just the love for the culture.
So for me to be an Italian American, usually when I meet other people that are also Italian or also from like the same town that my parents grew up in, I feel more comfortable around them and it's easier to talk with them, and it's fun like getting to know the real language for it. And also I respect my grandparents a lot. They've done a lot of stuff for me, so I know that like when I see other elders, I always do stuff for them as well.
As an Italian American, I definitely just love the whole community feel. Like, that definitely influences me the best. About a year ago, my grandmother had passed away, and the entire town that she lived in went and like celebrated her. Well, didn't celebrate. Yes, celebrated her life, and they had many like feasts and parties about like in her name, because she was like just a friend of the entire town. And to me, that was the most important thing about being Italian, that we can have special bonds and come together even in the worst of times. And that is definitely a characteristic that I want to pass down to my children someday, and definitely to any other Italian Americans, just they know how that feels.
To me, being Italian means keeping close connections with family and friends. Like when you meet someone, like it's like no matter who they are, you try to be as friendly as possible, and I don't know, like just everyone's family to me, like no matter who they are, and like just having that like loyalty and like closeness with everyone, it makes you feel like really surrounded with a bunch of people you love.
It's really my pleasure and honor to be a part of this great organization, Italian American Student Organization. And being the president of the Italian American Student Organization is just something I really honor, and I'm really proud to be a part of. Being a part of this club is just like being a part of a greater network of people that you can always rely on and fall back on, and you know that we all have each other's backs. It's like a family, and I'm really honored and happy, and it's my pleasure to be a part of it.
Suonare, chi si suona la trombona, ma come si suona la trombona? A fumma la trombona, pa 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 pa, la trombetta, zinga zingu, violina, plinga plingu, mandolin, tu 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 tu, saxofono, friscalette, tippiti tippiti ta.